Good evening, America. I am Eric Little. It is the 17th day of August 2020. It is National Take a Hike Day, which is probably what our current president should do. Just take a hike. There are 64 days left until the inauguration. I'm near my home in Southern California this evening, and this is the plain truth. Okay, normally this is where I give my opinion about what's going on and how I feel in the presidential election and all that kind of stuff. But I ran across this article in the Huffington Post, which encapsulates what I feel almost exactly. So I'm going to read it to you. So forgive me for looking down, but I'm going to read this to you. And I think me and millions of Americans feel this way. It's called, "No, I Will Not Be Reaching Out to Trump Voters Now or Ever. Here's Why." It says some fences can't be mended. When Donald Trump was elected in 2016, like millions of other Americans, I was horrified. He had campaigned on a platform of hate, pledging to ban Muslims from entering the United States and build a literal wall to keep Latinos out of the country. He stoked anti-Semitism, mocked a disabled reporter, and had a history of misogyny. Once Trump actually became president, he called white supremacists very fine people, locked children in cages, and systematically sought to dismantle the Affordable Care Act, disregarding the millions of Americans who would be left without access to health care if he were successful. Over the past 4 years, I've lived in fear as Trumpism has taken over the country. In counties where Trump held campaign rallies, hate crimes increased a shocking 226%, showing that the rhetoric has real consequences for marginalized groups. Nearly everyone in America who is not a natural-born white Christian heterosexual male in relatively good health has been targeted by the policies of the Trump administration. Almost immediately, after the election, we began to hear calls to reach out to Trump supporters to mend fences. Pop star Katy Perry encouraged fans to follow her lead and tell family members who voted for Trump that they are here for them. These calls for unity came from a place of privilege, and they are coming mostly from straight, white, cisgender people who are financially secure. They may not have liked some of Trump's policies, but they were not actively harmed by them. They likely never feared for their safety or well-being in Trump's America. Gestures toward reconciliation are also premature, given that Trump has yet to concede the election and still has about 2 months left in office to inflict even more damage. Before any attempt at unity can be made, there needs to be a reckoning, an acknowledgement that so many of Trump's actions have been unconscionable and do not align with the societal ideals that claim to value all life. Now, it goes on basically to say, some of these other things that went on, some gunmen opening fire in Pennsylvania and all these different things. It's a pretty good article. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but if you go on Huffington Post and read it, you'll get a better understanding of how many of us feel. This is the F your feelings crowd. Remember that from when Hillary lost in 2016? And so now these same people are like, well, you're not considering our feelings. I'm sorry, I can't get there, at least not yet. I have relatives who voted for Donald Trump. That's black people, believe it or not. But I'm not there yet. And anybody that wants to have a discussion with me, I will. But it has to be based in reality. I had this discussion at 7-Eleven the other day. Guy wanted to discuss the election with me. I said, before we get started, who won the 2020 election? He said, well, I think we don't know this. I said, goodbye. I'm not going to deal with people that are living in fantasy land. We have to start from a place of reality. Joe Biden won the election. You don't have to like it. We didn't like it when Trump won, but that's what happened. And if you're not willing to acknowledge that, I'm not going to engage with you. I don't talk to people that wear tinfoil hats, and I'm not doing that. The president can deny, he can make up stuff, he can do whatever you want. But if you want to have a discussion with me, it has to start in a place of reality. It starts with facts. Your feelings are not facts. I used to have this discussion with gun people all the time. Well, I feel safer with a gun in the house. You might feel safer. Your feelings aren't facts. The facts are you're 43 times more likely to get shot with a gun that's in your house than you are of shooting a legitimate bad guy. Those are the facts. You don't have to accept them, but I don't have to accept your feelings as facts. They're not. And so anybody who wants to engage with me on healthcare, gun legislation, politics, or religion, or anything else, I won't engage with you if you won't start with the facts. You want me to say, well, we want to come together and I should start considering how you feel. Okay, well, let's first start with the facts. If you won't acknowledge that Biden won this election, I don't have to consider your feelings because you're still living in fantasy land. And that is the plain truth, as I see it. And I am Eric Little. Good night.